I guess we had a technical problem there with the sound. I ended the live stream there as I found out there was no sound and I was still working on the camera. But yeah, that camera, I used it yesterday and the sound was fine. And today I used it and there was no sound. So I don't know what's going on with it. I was just using the HDMI out, feeding it into the studio where I was doing the streaming, so I couldn't hear what was going on while it was streaming because I was doing it live. I was in the shop and it was streaming in the other room, so I didn't have any sound. I was recording on the other camera for the video that will be upcoming on this particular unit. But yeah, we have a camera that's gone down. That's what's going on here, and I was just made aware of that when I walked into the studio and I couldn't hear anything. So I couldn't hear what was going on while it was streaming because I was. I'll restart the stream for you guys that are still hanging in there, and I'll talk to you guys live. So what I was doing on this was I was working on a camera, and anyway, it was a camera that was shipped in, and I figured, and when the video comes out, I talked about it a bit because I'd already started working on it. I thought, just at the last minute, why don't I put a camera in here and just run a long cable from the shop into the control room, basically. So what I've got is I've got a small camera. It's actually that's the camera that will record onto DVD that I was using, and I put it down into just into regular HD, not super high bandwidth mode. And I plugged the HDMI out into a HDMI over Cat5 Balun because the workshop is quite a ways away from the studio where I edit. So I ran a cable in and plugged it into the other end of it into my HDMI to USB adapter, and then connected it through OBS and turned on the stream and started working. Now I'm in the workshop, and the studio is like 30 feet away, so I can't hear what's going on. I can't hear what's going on anyway unless I brought my laptop into the shop, and I was thinking about doing that, but it's I'm not going to be watching what you guys are typing while the recording is being done because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. So I figured I would just let it run and let it roll while I was working on the camera. Anyway, had no idea that there was no sound until I just happened to pop in while it was playing. I thought, I don't hear anything coming out. I turned the laptop on. I don't hear anything coming out of the laptop, and then I realized that there was no sound. And I went and checked the camera itself, and find that camera, for whatever reason, it's not recording sound. I tried recording while this was streaming. I'm trying the camera, and nope, it's not recording sound. So I don't know what happened to the camera. As I say, I used it yesterday or the day before, and it worked fine. And so that was the $40 camera I bought. So I guess it wasn't such a good deal after all. It's not recording sound. It's not it's not passing sound. I don't know whether the microphone's gone bad or what, but anyway, that's what's happened with that. But what's happened on this camera that I'm working on right now is that this was sent in, and it was sent in to be checked over. And once I get into it, you'll see. I'll explain now in advance. This camera's had water damage, and water damaged cameras are never good. And you'll see. And when I'll be putting the edited video up a little bit later. I'm going to start working on that. And we'll put that up. But this, what you're watching now, this is a replay of what streamed live while I was working on it. And that's why the picture looks like it does, because the output from the camera is interlaced. It's 1080 interlaced out from that particular camera. I wasn't streaming it in ultra high bandwidth, ultra high resolution, just because the equipment I was using to send the video from one room to another, the Balins are only rated for 1080i. They're not rated for 1080p, some old ones. So it was just kind of an experiment to see what would happen. We'll try it again with a different camera next time, and hopefully we will get a little bit better quality for the next one. But that's what happened on this one, and I had no idea that there wasn't any sound until I just happened to walk in, and oh, there's no sound. So that's what happened there. Actually, I think it's the microphone that's acting up. Yeah, there's no sound again because I turned the microphone off. I'm not talking right now. Headphones, yeah, that's good. Things happen, yeah. You know what they say, right? Shit happens. Yeah, so it's as you can see on that the shield cover there. I guess it's not quite as easy to see on the wide angle here, but there's corrosion on there. This camera had corrosion, and the problem that on this one is the water got onto the edge connector, and it's damaged. The one on the end, which is the one that actually passes signals from the rotation sensors and the cassette down switch and stuff, that one was corroded. And I show a close up when the video comes up, you'll see that connector is corroded, and that's a problem whenever you get water into a camera. But we'll do another one. I'll do another one. I'll use my other little 4K camera, and we'll do it on that one for the next one. Let's see how that works. Might even stream it in. Well, I can't stream it in 4K unless if I take my laptop into the workshop. I could probably do it from that. But the Balins I'm doing will only do 1080. So we'll see. But the next one I'll try another live while I'm repairing with the camera. This is just sitting over top of the bench here, and I'll try another one and see how it works for another live one. See, now I can see what you guys are typing because I'm sitting in the studio watching this on replay. So I can see what you guys are typing, but when I was doing this, obviously I don't have a monitor, so I can't see any of the comments that are being made while I'm working on this. What I should do is I should, instead of streaming it live, maybe run a camera live, as in the recording, and then I can just stream it right off of the memory card before I edit the final cut. And that way I can be here while you're watching it live, although it would still be canned. Like this, what I'm doing right now, even though we're on replay now, when this originally aired, it was live, so I couldn't see what you guys were typing. But maybe for the next one I'll record it. Just run a second camera and record it, and then I can stream it right off the camera. And then I can moderate and talk to you guys and see what you're typing and respond and stuff while it's going on. Anyway, I'm checking the guides. The guides are tight on this, so there's no alignment problem on it. But the problem on this camera is the edge connectors all got wet. One was worse than the other, and that's the problem when you get moisture into cameras. It can cause all kinds of weird problems, intermittent problems, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's what happened on this one. I had it working when it was apart. I put it all back together and it didn't work. Took it apart. It would work again. Put it back together, it wouldn't work. I had this camera apart like 3 times. I should do a live stream of me editing the video. That's what we should do. Do a live stream of me cursing and swearing as I edit the video. But I will have this one will be up later. And I have another camera from the same fellow that was sent in at the same time. Oh, weddings. Yeah, aren't they fun? I did so many of them. I got so burned out doing weddings. I did that for over 20 years. And always stressing over whether equipment was going to break, right? You test it. You test everything beforehand. And then the day of, something decides it's going to break. Like in the case of this camera, I just used the one that I did the live stream with. I just used it. I did the flashlight video is what I shot with it. And it worked fine. Went to use it today, and there's no sound. Well, that's what I was thinking. Record a video, do live commentary. Record a second shot, kind of like I did here. Set the camera up and just let it roll. And then I'm recording on a second camera for the cut that's going to be on the final video. And before publishing, before even editing, as soon as I'm finished shooting, just take the card out of the camera and put it on live right away, and then I can do live commentary, and then edit and put the final one up after. Might be the way to do it. Yeah, I don't blame you for not wanting to shoot a wedding. Believe me, it's a lot of work. Weddings were the most stressful shoots of all of them. And I'm sure you've heard of Bridezilla. Every wedding has a Bridezilla. The stress that the couple's going through. The last thing they want to do is have somebody sticking a camera in their face. But I mean, I did okay. I was carving out a nice living doing it for the years I did it. But I basically shut that down in 2006 because I didn't have the time to do it. And my one of my assistants decided he couldn't do it anymore with me, and my business partner, that I worked with in the company, passed away. So it was that was the time when I decided I wasn't going to do any more weddings. I was booked all the way right through to 2006, my 2005 season. When it finished up, 2006 rolled along. I said, no, I'm done. No more weddings. And then it was just corporate and archiving and so forth. Oh, ham radio's going off in the background. Got to turn that down. Well, the money was okay doing weddings. It used to be okay. It wasn't by the time that I stopped doing them, because home video had gotten much better. I was using broadcast equipment at the time, and home video had gotten much better than it had been. So because there was more people figuring they were going to do weddings and make money doing it, the bottom fell out, and I'd get people coming up to me saying, well, I want you to do my wedding, can you do it for $1,000? And it's like, no, I can't. I can't do it for that. I can't turn my camera on for that, for what the camera costs. And I'm bringing a crew with me. There was two of us that were going out to do the work. So I got to pay my camera operator. So, I can't ask him to work for $50. It's basically, I can't do it for what you want. So that's another reason why I stopped doing it, is there was no money in it in the end, because home video getting better basically killed the entire industry as far as professional. It's the funniest thing, because they don't mind paying the stills photographer $4,000 or $5,000 to do portraits, but you're bringing a video crew out with a couple big cameras, spending the entire day and the entire evening there, and then spending another 30 to 40 hours editing, and they want it done for a quarter of the cost that they're paying the photographer to do a couple portraits. Nope, never worked on Fender Rhodes. Well, stills today is pretty simple with digital cameras. Back when I was doing weddings, it was still all film. A lot of the guys were using medium format Hasselblad cameras. But I went to school for video. That's what I went to college for, was for video production. So that was my expertise, was production work, and I had lots of people that would book me upwards of a year in advance. Yeah, the problem with film is it's so expensive to deal with. Not just buying the film, but the processing now has become prohibitively expensive for shooting anything on film. I have a card reader that will read smart media. Never had a camera that used one though. Cameras I've had have all either been memory stick, SD, or compact flash. .110. I didn't think they made that film anymore. But then, what the heck do I know? I haven't done any stills film photography since I think 97, maybe 96 was the last time I did any photography using my film camera. So this is where the stream is going to end. And I'm going to shut the stream down now. I'm going to edit the video for this camera with the sound, with the commentary while I was repairing it. We'll do that, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, I guess. I'll have that one up a little bit later on tonight.